Welcome to Toffee TV. It is our season review. This video was sponsored by OneFootball, the app that keeps you up to date with all the latest scores, stats and results all in one place. Click it, download the app, click the link. It's our season review, Ped. Season review. We love this time.
You know it's a season review because I'm in shorts.
Exactly.
That's when you always know it's a season
I
review.
know I've made the schoolboy error because I've got jeans on and it's roasting in here. Joe is behind the computer over there. He's also got shorts. Me and Cam are fighting.
I've made a
fight.
shocker.
It's too hot in here.
Not much of you, Cam. You'll be all right.
You'll be fine.
You'll be all right.
Roll them up. You know, we could get a guitar. No, forget that. Forget that. In Joe. The season review. It is done. Ped. It is done. Just before we break anything down, just a quick general feeling looking back now on the season.
I think for me, it was probably the season we expected. In hindsight, we look back. We were talking last week on another video about what we'd said before the season. I think one of the things I'd said is there'd be highs and lows. We'd have to ride out a storm or two. And
did you forget you'd said
I
that?
I did forget it. No, when you do that, you know what you
No,
do though.
do,
Especially when.
Listen, I said Soak's going to be our top scorer.
Yeah,
so
I said Richarlison to be our top goal scorer and Sigurdsson.
I also said Keane and Silva the boss. Yeah, but anyway,
and mine was fully confirmed though. No, it was it was a difficult season. You do get lost in it. It's hard to take that step back. This is the time you can take. Now's the time you can look at it and review it all. But it's like when you're playing, the season or a game. You can be in a game watching it and go, "This is the worst footy I've ever watched," and then 5 minutes later, someone pops one in and you 1-0 up, and you're like, "Yes, that's footy, isn't it?" That. And as a season, I think sometimes you forget how long a season is. Although they do go quite quick, but I think when you're in the midst of it, you forget that there are different parts of the season, and this very much was a season of different parts. And I think the most important thing is we finished strongly. We found an identity, and you can stand there now and say, you know what, I can see where we're going. Whereas maybe in other times when we finished in this position, like last year, you can't see the wood for the trees. But this year, I think we can now.
Cam?
Yeah, I agree. I think spot on. Like you said, there is always different parts of a season, and our season very much did go like a roller coaster. And we all sat here before the season and we all said, listen, if he can finish best of the rest, and and obviously it's his first season, he's going to take time to embed in. Brand's only just coming into the club as well. 6 players signed in the summer that needed to fit in, and I think, like you said there, you do get lost in it a little bit when with obviously the catastrophe at Anfield and then the poor run of form. You start to sort of think, is he the right man for the job? Are we going forward or not? But I think, looking back on it at the end of the season, if it wasn't for Wolves having a season that you've got to take your hat off to, really, because they've come in and they've smashed it. We would be right up there, and even Wolves having that season, we could have been right up there if we'd have got results in games that Newcastle at home, Watford at home, games like that, Fulham where we should have gone there and just absolutely bladdered them, and we didn't. We'd be right up there. It was in our hands at one point. But like you said, it always is in different parts, and it was very much this season as well. But I think the most important thing is we ended strongly. Of course, we could have got 3 points against Spurs if we'd have just been a little bit more clued up. We went into the Spurs game without our top goal scorer, with Kurt Zouma at right back. Now, I love Kurt Zouma, but he's not a right back. He's not good. He's not that type of player. And we matched them. We were 2-1 up, and we give a stupid free kick away to a player that scores free kicks for fun. So we could have come away with the 3 points there. Obviously after smashing Arsenal, Chelsea and United as well. So I think that's the most important thing now. We look at how we ended the season, and then we take that into the summer and going into next season as well.
Yeah, I mean, that middle bit was obviously very difficult, wasn't it? It was horrible, and it, at times you were wishing for this point. Yeah. I was just thinking, oh my God, get this season over with, and let's go. And you can't keep getting to that point where I wish the season's done. So we have to show tangible progress now, and I think that's what we did from Cardiff. We did show progress. We've said it all season, Ped, in that. After Cardiff, it's almost as if he went, you're the group I trust, and all you are all good players, but these are the lads I trust. And once he kind of did that, I mean, just on that, 12 months ago, we were all dancing in the streets when Toffee went. But obviously 12 months ago he came into the club, Marco Silva and Marcel Brand, at this stage, and he had a lot of work to do in that pre-season, didn't he? There's a hell of a lot of players there he had to cut through all of that as well as identifying players he wanted. I mean, this summer should be a lot more settled, shouldn't it? Because he knows who he can trust and he knows where we're going.
Yeah, well, that's a separate video, so I'm not going to talk about that.
No, but what I mean is, it should be a bit more focused.
I think the whole project is like you're saying before. You can't see the wood for the trees. You've got to cut through all of the shite, basically, haven't you? That's what we've had to do in the last year, is cut through a lot of shite. And I think what you've seen before is spot on about, that 17-day break. I think everyone identifies that as saying, well, that was the period where you could stop and reflect on the situation. I remember just before December, we were around the top 6. People saying we could finish above Man United. And, we said, we'll know after this spell of games where we're going to be and what part we're going to be. And it happened to be we were going to be in the middle part of the league, and it was where we could finish in the middle of the part of the league because of that. And that's what happens in the season. Different parts set the tone for you. And I think once he got into that last bit, where it was pretty much one game a week, he knew how he could work, who his team were going to be. But before that, especially the Christmas period, he was juggling with players, juggling with systems. He didn't know his best 11. That was key for me.
Yeah.
Marco Silva did not know his best 11.
Yeah.
And when he changed players, he had to change shape.
Yeah.
If you someone Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front and someone Tokes up front, you've got to play different styles. You can't play the same style. We had Richarlison on the left, then central, then on the right. And when he got to the right, it suddenly opened up Seamus Coleman. So these things, you fall on some things, you find them by accident. Some things work because people like Bernard get fit over the course of a season, and suddenly you go, well, he's our left hand side now. But also as a fan, I think you get boxed into an idea because you like someone. So we started at the beginning of the season. If anyone would have said, oh well, what do we do with Bernard then? Oh well, we'll put him in the number 10 position then, or whatever. And it's like, football doesn't work like that. There'll be injuries, there'll be suspensions, there'll be form, there'll be just players on the training pitch pushing each other, and that's ultimately what's happened. We found a front three that seems to work, and we found a shape that works. So they're the most important things. But he found that by just cutting, and we got there in the end. And okay, we don't necessarily think it's going to be the strike force to take us forward, because we all want to improve on it. But at least now you can see an identity.
I mean, if you go back to the opening day of the season, we had Wolves away. I mean, pre-season, first of all, Cam, was a bit of a...
It was a bit of a shocker, wasn't it?
You were reading some of the results out again before from the summer, I mean.
Yeah, it was... obviously, we had that massive 22-0 win in Oxford or whatever we went for pre-season, and obviously, watching that, you do sit there and you think we are playing a team of people that aren't footballers, let's be honest. But you're also thinking, bloody hell, we're 18-0 up here, 60 minutes in, we're going to smash it this season. And the rest of the games in pre-season, playing Lyon, Rennes as well, we were just poor. But Everton, we tend to have poor pre-seasons. It's not, we don't always go out there and smash it in the pre-season. For me, the most important thing was the fitness element of the pre-season and getting the players fit and obviously ready for first team football. Of course, we brought a couple of players in last day of the transfer window. A lot of the transfers were done quite late on, other than Richarlison. So you do look and you think, when you have a pre-season like that, you think, oh, what, have we got any better? What's going to happen now? But obviously, going into the Wolves game, could have won that game quite easily. Stupid sending off, which wasn't a sending off. Richarlison on fire, and then you start to think, okay, maybe we just see pre-season as a fitness sort of a thing to gain fitness and the players' sort of ability up. Then you don't look too much into the results, but at the time you're thinking,
well, I mean, we went to Wolves and played really, like you say, played really well and should have won it. We missed chances at the end, and then we played Southampton at home and beat them, and we were 2 up at Bournemouth and comfortable and blew it, and then we hit a little Huddersfield at home was not great, and then West Ham come and beat us, and then we went to Arsenal, and although it got a little bit better that day, we still lost the game. But then from there we seemed to step up a level, and I know we had a defeat at United in that, but we put 3 wins together on the spin, didn't we? And that gave us confidence. That took us to Anfield, really.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking that today. You think, when you think about the season, you don't look into it, you just think, generally you think, okay, we had a decent start, shite middle, decent end. But looking at the results, you think, okay, well, the start was a little bit slow. Obviously, the draw against Wolves, when you look at it and you think, okay, it's first game of the season, they've just come up, but realistically, we should have won that game. Same with Bournemouth. You beat Southampton, of course, and then, like you said, the Huddersfield game was the one where I think we all sat and went, you can't really make an excuse for that. We should be beating Huddersfield at home. West Ham was a shocking result. And then, like, even the Arsenal game, even though we were beaten, you seen a better performance, and the players, you were starting to see, okay, I can see what he's trying to do here. And then, of course, that's when we went on the good run of form. Then Palace, obviously we had the loss to United, Fulham as well. And then you start to think, okay, and that was when the shouts of, could we finish in the top 6? Are we going to be able to compete with United? And then, obviously, the derby, and that's when it went that way. But it was that sort of baby steps, and it is easy to look and go, we had a boss start to the season, but we didn't. We had a good start, but it was small steps.
Yeah,
and then
it was slow.
It was typical Everton when we were looking like, okay, we've got there now, we're now playing well. Jordan Pickford decided to launch the crossbar, but...
I mean, that Anfield game, you know, we'd been on a good run. You're right, everyone. I remember him interviewing Marino and people going, Everton will finish above here, and he was like, no, they won't. But at the time, going into the derby,
but you get caught
we were quite confident though, weren't we? Going into the derby, even though Liverpool were doing well, because we were playing well.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, football people know the game in terms of when they look at the whole season. And, you know, I think the fact that we played the game on the Sunday, we had a game on a Wednesday, and we got 2 poor results. That's where it was like players probably looking at it then going, how do we get this going again? And they just couldn't quite get it going again, and that was the big problem, wasn't it? The whole of December was just...
We didn't bounce back, did we? Newcastle at home on the Wednesday after Liverpool was one that we had to go out and beat them.
Yeah,
and that might have kept momentum going.
I just think that a lot of that was on us because we'd been caught up in a few results without actually looking at it, and it was more like saying, it was almost like we were trying to get 6th in December, do you know what I mean?
Got ahead of ourselves, didn't we? Like
did.
You said before, we sat before the season and we went, okay, this is a building season now, if we can finish 7th, if we can show progress, then it's do. And then when you get them results, you think, we're going to finish in the top 6 here.
But that's where you get to the end of the season and go, well, we missed out finishing on 7th by like 3 points.
Win, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and that's the mad thing about the whole season is that you're sitting there. We were sitting here before, you know, all those home games at the end, thinking, oh my God, where are we going to pick up a point next? And we go and beat all those teams, and you know, end up being not losing it against most of the team. Well, everyone bar Man City, everyone bar the champions. So.
I mean, that's it. When you think of that, it's incredible, isn't it? We had the top 6 in the last part of the season, and City were the only ones who beat us. It's mad, isn't it?
That's where football doesn't always work out like you think it's going to work out. So I think ultimately we are. I think sitting here now, we are where we'd all hoped to be last summer. Yeah. Like literally everybody to a man said last year, it's a season where we try and get rid of as much dead wood. I mean, go back to those pre-season games and look who was playing. Do you know what I mean? Look who was playing first game of the season. You know, Jagielka, and then Holgate coming on for him.
Baines played, didn't he?
Baines and obviously Walcott and Tosin and Richarlison on the left. And in the pre-season games, you've got Sandro playing nearly every game, and Morales playing some games, and Nias and all these players who never had anything to do.
Williams played against Erling, didn't he?
And Berry.
Berry,
we got Berry. But all these players and then also the fact that all those players come in transfer deadline day just 2 days before the season. You know, they're all none of them could play games for a couple of weeks. The likes of Gomez not playing till October.
Palace.
Mina not playing till November. You know, the Mole not having pre-seasons. Theo Walcott not having a pre-season. The whole thing with Ademola Lookman in the summer. Will he stay? Will he go? There was all these factors that the man, as a new manager and brands, had to deal with. Apart from just saying, you know what, I'm trying to build a football team here, and I've got all. And the mad thing is, we're still dealing with some of those factors this summer. We're still dealing with a hell of a lot of those factors. When you think of the fact that there's players who I know we'll address us in a different video, but there's players who he had last summer that will come back this summer. You know, that's a big That's a big situation to
I
deal
suppose
with.
another thing we hope he's learned from the season will be how he deals with the Christmas period, because I think we all agree that's when the wheels fell off big time, didn't he, with the amount of games and that problem of not. I think he was starting to see then he could only trust a certain amount of players, and that's why we played most of them, and when they were knackered we lost narrowly to the likes of Brighton and Leicester at home at 2 off the top of your head, where you go, for fuck's sake, how did they beat us? So that's something he'll have to take into this season, won't he?
Exactly,
from that is the Christmas period.
Yeah, spot on. Like we were saying before about that break, and I've banged on about that 17-day break since it's happened, but I can't stress how important that was, because it shows that he's gone away and he's gone, I need to sort this out here, because something's not working. And like we said before, he's found a starting 11 that he can trust and that can go forward. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin mightn't be ready to be a number 9 in the Premier League yet, but he does what he needs to do. He does his job there, and yes, he mightn't have the best ratio in front of goal, but he does what he needs to do, and it worked for Everton. Cenk Tosun wasn't working for us at that time. Theo Walcott wasn't working for us. Bringing Bernard in, like we said about the transfer window, we had all these players that come in. Gomez wasn't fit, couldn't play. Mina wasn't fit, couldn't play. Bernard wasn't fit, couldn't play. There was literally Richarlison who come in and Luca Dean that fit straight in. The rest of them had their issues, and he does need to really focus on that period, because it's Everton and we're always going to get stupid amount of games over Christmas. Other teams will get long breaks and 10-day breaks and that, and we'll have 2-day breaks. But that was the perfect opportunity after the derby to bounce back against Newcastle and to go out there and go, right, get that out your head. But football doesn't work like that, and I dare say the players were a little bit gutted thinking, because I think it's easy to forget it wasn't just, we didn't go to Anfield and get pampered for 90 minutes and then concede in the last minute. We could have won that game. We stood up to them at 100%, and Andre Gomez has one off the line. Mina has a header, free header that he should put away, and if you go 2-0 up there, it's a different game. And I think that caused the devastation, is because the players come away and thought, you know what, we should have won that game. And it goes either way then, so it either goes, right, pick ourselves back up, we could have won that game, let's go again, or it goes, fucking hell, what have we done there, you know what I mean? And that's sort of the way it went, and he just couldn't grab a hold of it at that Christmas period and go, right, let's get a hold of this now.
I think once we went into that little spiral as well, we had that defeat at Southampton, which was really poor as well. We were terrible that day, and then we went out the FA Cup to Millwall, and I mean that's got to be, that was horrendous, wasn't it?
I think a big part of the season was, and this is why a lot of people had problems with it, was how bad we were at times. Like, you know, performances, so many performances that especially in that period where we just never got going in games, and we looked tired and we started slow. Do you think there was no tempo?
Do you think there was any identity at that time? It just looked, there was nothing there, was there?
It was crap. It was crap, and he deserved, for me, he deserved for people to say, well, what's the plan in terms of where are we going? I think it was there had to be question marks, because you were like, well, what's going on? You know, Millwall was, again, you're going out the cup so easily against the team, then ended up getting to the quarter-finals, wasn't he? And you look at them and you think,
I mean, he'll say, of course, VAR would have.
No, but we shouldn't be relying on VAR against a team like that. But the point being was, at that point, we were conceding goals from set pieces, and that day was just abysmal.
Yeah,
and we're giving away set pieces so cheaply, and people making poor decisions, like Richarlison in the last minute. You know, Luca Dean putting 2 fouls in, and you're just thinking, is this team not learning? Is this manager not learning? And ultimately, they turned it round, and we finished the season strongly. But you can't recreate that period. That's when the only time we'll recreate that period is when we get to that period next season. When we get to Christmas, when we get to the the January and
I think for me,
and that's when he'll be able to look at it again.
He come out though, didn't he? Come out after that period and said, I've learned that we won't make them mistakes next Christmas, and now it's up to him when we go into next Christmas in delivering and proving it. And I think what will help him is that he's identified exactly how Everton play. You know, we all know now how we play. We saw the difference at Tottenham the last game of the season when we didn't have Coleman, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. Lads come in and did a job, but it didn't look like the Everton we'd seen until late in the second half when Lookman was on. We were pushing forward. Other than that, it looked a very different Everton. And that's what I wanted. Not the drop off, but I wanted to be able to go, that's my Everton there, that's what Everton are.
Yeah.
They're not, well, just put these lads on and see how it goes and they might win a game.
Yeah.
Now you look and go,
Yeah,
that's Everton. Every home game after that 17-day break. Once Liverpool was out the way and it was 2 points, which, might have cost them the out. No, I'm just saying it.
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know, once that was out the way, we smashed Arsenal and there was a way of playing. Then we came out against United. Chelsea. Once we got over that little sticky spell at the first half, we then went at Chelsea and it was very much Everton, then Arsenal, United, and you could see what was happening. We steamrolled them, and then Burnley. And you were like, yeah, this is Everton. This is what Everton do. They come out, they attack with the know that they played that way. The same at Cardiff, the same at, Fulham was the only one really. Newcastle, we were great for an hour and then it caved in, but Fulham was the only one. Palace, when you'd gone there, we were all over them. We couldn't put the ball in the net. So you're seeing from that 17-day break the identity that's going, and what I suppose what we're all hoping is the players they've identified to bring in this summer, you drop them into that team and the team does exactly the same, only with a little bit more quality. And you're absolutely right, Cam, that 17-day break give him the opportunity to give the players a few days off. And we spoke to Seamus Coleman the other week and he was like, we had a few days off and people went away and looked at themselves, because my problem when it was poor was that yes, the manager needed to do a bit more, but the players needed to go, hang on, I am letting people run off me here and I'm not going with them, or I'm not winning a tackle, or I am diving in and giving free kicks away. And they come back from that game, the Cardiff game, which was a tough game that night. They'd have won, they'd have gone, they'd have been like not that far behind us, because we were in the shit, we were poor. And that night, Jagielka had come in and we got through we tried to give a goal away in the opening seconds, but after that people were taking, heading clearances, or they were pulling each other apart. And from that, with the exception of that last half an hour against Newcastle, I don't know whether we conceded another goal off a set piece. So there you go. That was the season. General, it started off alright, went rubbish, finished good, finished very good really when you look at it.
Roller coaster, but expected.
Is that what you're going for? Your final thing, an expected roller coaster?
You get caught up with the emotions.
Don't forget, I've seen a lot of your match reaction videos.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a roller coaster. There was no expectation as a tagline in there.
There was a part of the season when I thought, mid-table team, that's it.
Gone. We're gone. There you go. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Was it expected? Was it how you thought a year ago it might pan out? Or are you disappointed that, given the teams above us weren't great, that we've missed maybe missed an opportunity? Because I know some people have tracked it like that. Or do you just think, listen, that's done, we've got a year in now and we'll see what we can do next season? Because I suppose that's kind of where I am. I'm like kind of thinking, done it, we've built momentum, now can we go again? Let us know in the comments section below. See you later.